Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to discuss this topic of the Maneskin drug scandal. And yeah, I know, it's a very boring topic, but I think, and I'm not against recreational use of drugs, but I think doing what this guy did in front of 200 million people is a no-go. So we need to investigate. So first of all, I don't trust this test. The band and the singer Damiano David allegedly took on a Monday. I don't want to go to conspiracy theory, but I can tell you at least a couple of ways how you could easily, how can a 10-year-old child easily manipulate, or how to say, influence the results of a drug test. For example, you could use someone else's pee if it's a pee test, right? No one controls you when you go to the toilet to see if you pee or you drop some other guy's pee. So this drug test, because I don't even believe this guy took a test. We didn't see any proof, right? It's just a statement of the European Broadcasting Union that people took literally. Okay, I don't believe it was a test, but let's assume it was a test. How many ways you could fake it? Many ways. One is use another person's pee. So this drug test is not an accurate way of settling and concluding this case, as the band and their managers and EBU wrongly assumed that no, this is not the ultimate source of truth. Not at all. You know what would be the ultimate source of truth? An independent laboratory extracting a piece of hair of this guy in front of many witnesses. By the way, do you know the name Christoph Daum? Christoph Daum was a motherfucking German football coach, and he lied about his use of cocaine. And they asked him for a piece of hair. And you know what? It was proven that this football coach was lying, and he indeed used coke, which he denied repeatedly until this type of drug test was performed. So no, this drug test is a bullshit. I don't know what drug test, if there wasn't a drug test. We need a hair test which will prove his long time use of cocaine as well. Second, I don't think European Broadcasting Union did everything to re-establish trust. Publishing a statement saying this matter is closed doesn't make it closed. Is it clear? A couple of actions that you could have done to establish even more trust was publish all the footage with Damiano David and his band that night. Everything. Publish it on the public domain. Everything. That would have re-established trust, dear EBU. Second, publish the drug test, but not only. Make sure that it was run by an independent lab, and second, that it was a hair test. Okay? Not a pee test. That's nothing. Okay? So independent lab showing how they extract on footage a piece of hair from Damiano David, because then we would know which independent lab to blame if they faked, and no one would put their name on such a test if it was not run independently. And the risk of faking the test with other person's hair or other person's pee would be obviously less. It's not zero. You can imagine some corrupt labs would put their name on this for some money, but the risk of having a fake drug test would be much less. And if you wanted to make the matter clear and re-establish the trust, you would have let France to decide which laboratory to run this test. Okay? Third point. France should go to court, and all the band members from Maneskin should be hair tested in this court. Attention, we talk here about 400 million euro possible revenues that Maneskin or any other winner of Eurovision could have in their lifetime. So we are not talking about 1,000 euro here, we are talking about huge amounts of money. And France shouldn't be stupid. Barbara Pravi shouldn't be stupid and should go to court. Even if the France's team, I don't know, the national television in France, France 1, I don't care. The France national television, even if the France national television refuses because they are members of EBU and their bosses know each other and blah blah blah, Barbara Pravi should still go to court and have these band members tested with follicle test, yeah, with hair test as soon as possible, because she loses a lot of money here. And not all money, she loses, and this world loses together with her, the chance to become a better world where truth prevails, not lies. Yeah? Speaking about lies, number 4. An expert in lying should be contracted as well, because I have serious doubts that Damiano told the truth at the press conference. No cocaine, please! What was that, Damiano? It's pathetic from a rock singer. No cocaine, please! And also, your lyrics in the songs and some of your videos, Maneskin, on the Facebook page do not match your public PR statement stunt you did. We are against drugs. No, you consume what seems to be marijuana in your videos on your YouTube channel, and your lyrics are full of suggestions towards altered states of mind, and doesn't make any sense. So you lose a lot of fans who would have liked you to be honest. Okay? So it's not late, Maneskin, to change your story, because eventually the truth will come out. If your success was based on cocaine use, you will still use cocaine, and we will find out. You should say it out loud, because everybody will know later on in time that you are some pathetic liars. Sorry. Number 5. European Broadcasting Union, which by the way is, if you live in the 39 countries that were giving the points on Saturday night, if you live in all of these countries, you are basically the owner of this European Broadcasting Union, because you are a citizen of all these 39 countries. And what is the European Broadcasting Union? It's an association of the national broadcasting unions. And guess who pays the taxes for those national televisions that are the members of EBU? You! Exactly. So you sponsor this EBU, you sponsor this Eurovision, you and me and all else. So you should ask your rights here, because you are the owner of this EBU and you want the truth to prevail. Back to my point. Last one that I have one more. EBU and Sony bosses, for the ones of the viewers of this video who don't know, this band Maneskin signed with Sony to manage them and publish their records some 3-4 years ago. So I'm assuming the Sony bosses are not strangers to this story, and they might have been also discussing, the bosses of EBU and the bosses of Sony, to cover this scandal up big time. Doesn't look like a cover up for you? For me, I just watched a Watergate documentary by BBC. This seems to me a Watergate type of scandal. The bosses, Nixon, tries to cover up his break-in into the Democratic National, the DNC. So EBU and Sony bosses seem to want to cover up this scandal. Yeah? We consider this matter concluded. Hell no, you didn't reassure anyone. You said about a test which you don't know anything about, which could be faked by 10 years old. You didn't conclude anything, dear EBU. We want everything to be published, all the videos. We want tested by hair. We want to know the truth, because in that video I'm showing you after this, look at this. Look at this 40 times. Damiano David seems to have something in his left palm, in his left hand. You can see clearly his left hand with his black nails moving a bit to the left of the screen, and his nose and or mouth doesn't seem very clear if it's nose or mouth, could be mouth, touches that thing, which might be a cylindrical recipient that some junkies know. You can store this, you can have this recipient in your pocket, and you don't need to make the lines of cocaine. Yeah? The junkies know about this recipient. Might be that recipient. He touches his mouth or his nose with that object that he holds in his left hand. This needs to be addressed by EBU as soon as possible. France needs to go to court if the EBU doesn't address this object that appears to be in his left hand. One other thing that is interesting, and it makes sense for the cover-up hypothesis, if you hear the recording, after that, I heard his Swedish reporter question, the organizers of the press conference announced clearly in the speakers, stop asking questions about the cocaine. What the fuck? So these people knew the questions will come up about the cocaine, because most probably the cameraman already alerted the EBU bosses that exactly moment when we saw Damiano sniffing the fucking drugs from his left hand. The whole 200 million people who were watching at that moment saw him doing drugs, and most probably EBU was prepared for this. Most probably the Sony bosses were alerted exactly that time, and the managers of the band. Everyone was prepared, and you know what? They tried everything to cover up the story. Stop asking questions about the cocaine. How can Eurovision tell this to those reporters after that Swedish reporter asked? Are we here for the truth, or are we here covering up this whole mess? Think about it. Last point I want to make. For everyone who has truth in mind and looks, again I put now this video, look at it. This video shows clearly what is going on. So with this, please subscribe, comment and like my channel and my videos. Goodbye.